What's up with StreamYard doing that? StreamYard, what is going on? Whenever I have my camera up behind the video, it's like when the video stops, my camera gets minimized. Is that something new that y'all started doing and you didn't tell us about? Really annoying. Anyway, I don't want to start off so negative. So welcome to the show, everybody. What's going on? What's up, team members? I do see we have Jose in the building. Thank you so much for being a channel member. Dalton Parker, Julia Fetman's in the house. What's good to see you, Fetman. Chris is here. Reed is here. Jay is here. What's up? I've got I just finished eating, actually. I was hoping, I had my fingers crossed because I'm like, it's not going to be here by the time my show starts. I'm going to be eating on stream, and I hate eating on stream because I know you guys can hear it in the microphone. But I got Burger King. I wanted onion rings. So there we go. What is this? Has become a Team Eric member? According to the box here, it says you've been a member for 43 months. That's weird. Get your shit together, OBS Streamlabs. Thank you for being a team member, Naruto. You see Marvel Rivals has released a zombie mode. I did. Is there a trailer for it? I might actually look at the trailer if there's a trailer out. What's up, Harrison? Good to see you. We have a few things to talk about tonight, but let me tell you guys, it's really weird. It might be a very intimate night tonight. And what I mean by that is it might just be us. Maybe, possibly. Several people are unavailable. So Ronan and Joe are both at the movies. Lance has to be up early in the morning. Darren said he couldn't make it. Not really sure why, but he can't be here. And I haven't heard anything from Jake. So it may actually just be us tonight, which is okay with me if nobody wants to jump on. It's been a while since I've been able to host a stream by myself. So hopefully you guys are ready for that. There is a trailer. Okay, we'll watch the trailer. But I have a surprise. Friend of the show, Boba Talks, did an interview with James Gunn, and it's been requested for me to watch the video of Boba Talks talking to James Gunn. I think that would be a lot of fun. So we're going to watch that video together. I think it's like a 15-minute video. So we'll do that. We're going to talk about all this Warner Brothers Discovery stuff that's going on, how Superman is doing on streaming, and a little bit of news about Marvel. So we'll do that. Also, we have the Super Chat goal for tonight. Let me read off to everybody what our top 5 list is. If we hit 5 Super Chats of any tier tonight, which, by the way, I see we already have one from Connor. We'll read that in a second. Top 5 heroes with capes. Top 5 dream battles. Top 5 legacy characters. Or top 5 worst DC costumes overall. So this covers comics, movies, and TV shows. Or animation. It covers all of it. So go ahead and vote on that if you guys would like to pick one of those. Let's see what Connor super chatted here. We got a $5 super chat from Connor Dorian. Thank you so much for promoting the show. Supporting the show? Promoting? What am I talking about? Supporting the show. What did you think about the season 2 finale of Gen V? I personally loved it. Has everybody in the chat seen it, or do you care about spoilers? I'm just curious if anybody cares about spoilers. I don't want to spoil it if people haven't seen it. Just in general, though, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. And so I'm really looking forward to the next season of The Boys. I think it really sets that up, which I know some people have criticisms of Gen V setting up The Boys. So I know that. But we got like a good Magneto versus like an evil Professor X storyline. So we had that. I enjoyed it. Yeah, Cody over here. I absolutely loved it. Jasmine says it was fine. Talking about Gen V Season 2 spoilers. No, I'm not going to talk about spoilers. I won't, because I don't know if everybody's seen it or not. But we do have somebody in the green room who just popped in. I wasn't sure if he's going to make it tonight, so that's why I didn't announce him. But we have Bob here.
Oh, hey. I assumed there'd be other people here too. How's everything going?
Good. No, we have a few people that may show up, but they're
okay.
Ronan is, I believe he's lucky enough to see Frankenstein in theaters.
Oh,
So I
lucky.
think that's
Lucky.
seeing that. Joe is seeing something else in theaters. I don't remember what it was. Darren's not going to be here. Jake might be here, but he usually gets here a little bit late. And Elam, yes.
Yes, Elam made it. So, I mean, I could just sleep. Elam will just be here.
So we have a couple things to look at and to talk about tonight. And the first one I want to do is there was an interview with, so to set this up, Bob, you may not know this, but years and years and years ago, probably, and anybody in the chat who's an OG viewer of my channel will remember this. I used to do a thing called the 4-channel crossover, and it was before StreamYard was a thing. So it was very difficult to get everybody together. There was no Zoom things. It was all through Skype or, something like that. And we used to do these 4-channel crossovers. And one of the members of that is a guy named Boba Talks. And Boba actually got to do an interview with James Gunn. So and this is supposedly there's a couple of really cool tidbits in here. So I thought we'd watch that video and see if we can get anything out of that. It's only a 14-minute video, so it's not that long.
Sounds awesome. Lucky.
And then Lone Wolf here with the $5 super chat goes, "Did you watch the new Rockstar interview with James Gunn or Boba yet?" That's what we're getting ready to do. Literally, I've got it in the queue down below. So we're going to be watching the Boba one. Very interesting questions. Yeah, the reason why, not only do I want to hype it up because I want to show Boba a little bit of love because he's an OG, but I also thought it had some, people were saying there's a lot of interesting stuff in it because he's talking about post Peacemaker season 2. So that gives us a chance to hear some of that stuff. So we're going to watch that first. Naruto here with a $5 super chat. We're already 3 out of 5, guys. We're so close to the goal already. Gen V finale felt more like a setup premiere episode, not really a finale. I will agree with that. I think it's a setup for the final season of The Boys. There's a lot of stuff there that I know is going to carry over into that season. So I understand the criticism of people saying that it didn't feel like a finale. I will not disagree with that, but I enjoyed it as an episode. And that's kind of how it is for me. I go with how I feel about stuff. So if I had a good time with it, I don't really care too much about the other stuff. Emergency Awesome interview James Gunn. Why could I not get an interview with James Gunn? Why could I not do that? Hey, Cal, good to see you. Channel member, appreciate it. By the way, if you guys want to support the channel and get your name in the credits of the live streams, which I'll be doing from now on, make sure you hit the join button. I think it's join some places. It's subscribe plus other places. I'm not really sure how that works. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to pull this video up with Boba. And here we go. And screen. Yeah, there's a lot of interviews, but Boba's a friend of the channel. And I like Boba a lot, so we're going to give him a little bit of love and watch his video. And Lone Wolf, I will answer that as soon as we're done with this video. So here we go. Let me know if it echoes. Some people are saying it echoes on other channels. I don't think it echoes over here, but let me know if it echoes.
Ladies and gentlemen, man, do I have a very special video for you guys today. I just had the opportunity to sit down with James Gunn and talk about all things DCU. And I just wanted to add this bit before the interview to just say that it isn't lost on me how crazy this opportunity was for me to get. I really appreciate James and his team wanting to have a chat with me on the channel about the DCU and its future.
By the way, I want to point out, Chris, I've interviewed celebrities before through discussing film, but they have hidden all of those interviews. So you can't find them anymore. They're unlisted or they're private videos. So I've done interviews in the past.
Did you used to work for Discussing Film?
I was with them before they were ever even a brand, when they were just starting out.
I didn't know that.
So it was a handful of guys running a Twitter account, and they needed people to do the interviews, to talk on the interviews. And I got to interview quite a few people through Discussing Film, but it's all old lost media now, because now that they've become a legitimate brand, they've kind of cleaned up a lot of their old stuff. So because the interviews were fun, but they weren't super professional because they were being done over Skype and stuff like that. So that's kind of the issue. I typically do not look to interview people. Let me tell you guys why. And no offense to anybody that does, because again, I think it's a great opportunity for people. I don't like dealing with the process of getting cleared on questions. It's really annoying because you have a bunch of things you want to ask and their publicist has to agree to everything. And it's a lot of hoops you have to jump through. Now, I don't know if it's the same for James Gunn. Maybe he's just ask me anything you want, but most celebrities you have to clear all your questions first.
It might also have to, like you said, it has to depend with the person. How good are they at handling interviews and stuff like that?
Yeah. The worst thing that happened to me in the time that I vowed like never to do interviews again was when I interviewed Danielle Panabaker at DragonCon, who played Frost, on The Flash. I did that, and I went through the trouble of setting it up. I had nice cameras, nice microphones, and everything. And there was one question that I had in there that that at the time I wasn't sure if I asked her, and I just removed the question if they'd be okay with that. So I did. She answered it. She didn't say she couldn't answer it. She just went ahead and answered it. And then the publicist was like, "No, you can't use this at all." They didn't want me to edit it at all. Apparently, there was some rule about like editing the interviews. So they were like, you can't even take it out. And it was literally in the middle of the interview. So I'm like, I can't use any of this. She's like, no. So essentially it became useless to me. So once that happened, I was like, it's not worth it for me to do it. It might be different now, but that's how it was back then. So Julia, we are going to be talking about all of that in just a bit. It's part of the topic for tonight. So we will get into that. According to Boba, he could have asked anything. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
So let's see what he does. Let's see what he gets here.
For those of you who regularly watch my content, you probably know that this is a massive milestone for the channel. So, I hope you guys enjoy what we talk about. I had fairly limited time, so I asked what I could, and I tried my best to poke around a little bit, if you know what I mean. So I think everyone will find a nugget in there to appreciate. But most of all, I appreciate all of you guys watching me right now, because I know it sounds cheesy to say, but if you guys weren't watching me here on the channel, I wouldn't get the opportunity to do something like this. So with that being said, let's not waste any more time. Here's my chat with James Gunn.
I'm going to have to call you Boba because that's what I think.
Yeah, I was going to introduce myself as Luke, but everyone knows me as Boba, so...
Yeah, Luke Talks does not have the same ring to it.
Exactly. I mean, I'm conscious we don't have an awful lot of time, so I'll jump straight into things here. So, I just want to say, first of all...
I can tell he's a little bit nervous. I know Boba. I could tell the way he just acted at that moment. He was very nervous.
I'd be nervous as hell too.
I would too. It's just funny seeing him that way because he's usually very, very well put together about everything. So it's just funny to see the nerves here in his interview.
It is a real privilege for me to get the chance to speak to you. So what I first want to do is to just check in and ask how you're doing after a very busy first few years at DC Studios. So, now Peacemaker Season 2 has finished airing, which I loved, by the way. The finale is out the bag. We're pre-Man of Tomorrow. So how are you doing, James? Are you getting any sleep?
Yeah, I'm actually sleeping really well lately. It's been, and one of the reasons why is because that first, little section is over. The section that I had to kind of jam through as we were first starting this out. So now my life is, I don't want to say manageable, but more manageable than it was before.
So that tells me a little bit right there. That tells me that he's not like micromanaging all these projects that are coming out. You know what I mean? Like the assumption from a lot of these like channels out there is that he is going to be like very hands-on with every single thing that comes out. And I would say that alone, what he just said, tells me that he's not, that he's trusts the people that he's hired in the positions they're in. So that's really good.
Yeah, it's very important. I mean, that's part of why Kevin Feige has been so effective at the MCU. To my understanding, largely he just says, here's kind of like the characters you have. Here's where I want the story to end up, and kind of lets them play in the sandbox. And I'm sure that there's certain things they can't do, but like for the most part, from what I've heard, he lets them kind of do what they want to do.
Right. By the way, guys, when we're done watching this video, if you haven't done already, please go over to Boba's channel and leave a like on this video and show him a little bit of love in the comments so that he can get more opportunities like this.
And being able to work on Man of Tomorrow, like I just, I'm finishing my 4th draft today. And it's really, I'm excited by it. But also I was talking with my wife this morning about when I was at this point, like this many months out from the Superman movie, I had not really started writing Peacemaker yet.
Okay.
So I had to, it was.
That's interesting. So he hadn't, when he was working with Superman, or he was working on the Superman script, he hadn't even thought about writing Peacemaker at that point. So he wrote Peacemaker after Superman. not in tandem. I thought they kind of were written around the same time, the way everything was set up, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. It's interesting.
Oh.
Hellish. And now I'm still having to deal with, I was going over Creature Commando script this morning. I got a Mr. Miracle script on my desk I have to deal with. I'm, dealing with, Supergirl cuts and all that stuff. But it is not as quite as crushing as it was before.
I can only imagine. So one of the big reveals in the Peacemaker season 2 finale was, very clearly the metahuman prison planet Salvation. You have said that you're adapting some of that concept from the comic series, Salvation run. So are there any other concepts you will be drawing on to bring this planet to life?
Good question.
For instance, I mean, I may be way off here, but the noises Peacemaker heard through the trees really gave me some Dinosaur Island vibes. So,
that's cool. I think there's something out there for sure. It's obviously a sign that there's bad stuff, and that also is sort of that happens in the comic book. So that's not that's not too big of a stretch. That the idea that they're being sent to this prison planet, which is not meant really as a punishment, it's just to get them the hell away from our planet so that they quit bothering us. And
I know it's his creation, but I would see it as a punishment for sure. Like you're sending them on a planet with nothing there. Like, I mean,
except maybe monsters.
Yeah, but I mean, even if they didn't know the monsters existed, I still feel like that would be punishment. I don't think there's any other way to look at that. I know he's trying to make it seem it's like we just don't want them on our planet. Yeah, but you're sending them to a planet with nothing, essentially, which you believe there's nothing there. So
I think an argument can be made. He's trying to make Rick Flag Senior's give his perspective on it. He just wants to get rid of the metahumans. I think maybe that's how he's trying to phrase it.
And breaking out of prison and causing mayhem, and they're sending them to a place that is maybe ethically unsound to be choosing to do that in the first place, because you're ignoring what a judge and jury has convicted your peers of. But also it wasn't thought of as like sending them someplace where they're going to be eaten by monsters.
I would say, look, I understand his perspective on this, but it's essentially putting somebody on a desert island.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's no due process. They're just throwing this person in, getting rid of them, essentially.
Yeah, but also there's no way for them to sustain themselves. You're putting them on a planet where you don't even know if they can eat the food there. Like you have no clue.
No idea.
So I don't like that answer. That's not an answer that feels good to me, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And so so that's a part of what is in store, I think, for the Salvation.
And then of course we have we also saw the introduction of Checkmate into the DCU. So is there anything you can tell us about its role moving forward, and when just maybe we can
Another good question. These are good questions.
Well, I can't tell you exactly when you can expect to see them next, although I think I know. But I can say that I think that they are actually an organization. We have the DCU is a world of organizations, as is our own world. And none of these organizations is perfect. I think that we have seen, corporations. They're an intensely powerful structure within the DCU, whether it's Luthor Corp or Lord Tech. Then we have the government, which has been, I think historically in the DCU is the most powerful entity around. And then sadly for them, I think they feel like that's not necessarily the case right now.
I want to point out, and I just thought about this. This is the first group that James has introduced into the DCU so far that isn't corrupt some way, like the Checkmate group, because all the other organizations seem like there's a little bit of corruption there. So I think it's really interesting that this is the first group that we're not seeing it from the beginning as a corrupt organization. It feels like the people that made it obviously want to do good with Checkmate. So that's a little bit interesting.
With either metahumans or corporations. So they're dealing with the realities of that, just as I think our own world is dealing with the reality that corporations are now as powerful as whole governments are.
True.
And then,
Many are more
and then I think there
True.
are the the metahumans, which are connected in some ways to corporations because of Lord Tech funding them. And then I think Checkmate, and then we have Argus within the government and what they do. But I think Checkmate is sort of it's an organization outside of all of those things.
Of course.
Really, that is not beholden to a corporation.
I want to know how that functions though, right? Because like corporations, or you look at Lord Tech, you look at Lex and his company and Argus by the government or whatever, they have massive amounts of money funding them.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have a lot of leverage because of the connections they have. Checkmate is kind of just an outlier. It's almost like a Robin Hood company.
Well, I was about ready to say the only money I can think of they have access to is possibly Vigilante's drug money.
Yeah, but I feel like that'll dry up eventually.
I would think so as well. Maybe if he keeps on working.
They spent a ton on this to make this place. So,
but yeah, other than that, all the other characters had the storyline about them being broke as hell. So
yeah, because also there's also the power factor, like where are they getting their leverage from in terms of power? It's not in legislation. It's not from bureaucrats. It's not from like big rich billionaires. So. Really interesting.
Not beholden to anyone, and really whether or not they're going to be able to fulfill the promise of their own promise, they are there to make the world a better place, and that's what they want to do.
Okay,
absolutely. Good. So one thing I've been really curious about is you've referenced things like Peacemaker Season 2 and Lanterns setting up different threads and arcs. How far do these arcs go? Like, do they culminate in Man of Tomorrow, or can we expect them to go further than that?
Yes, they definitely go significantly further than Man of Tomorrow.
Okay.
So
significantly further.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting way to put that.
Yeah.
I mean, does that mean we're going to get like a Lanterns movie eventually, like something with the Green Lanterns in a film? Because significantly to me in this context doesn't mean another TV show.
No,
I feel like that means something else.
No, significantly could mean most anything. Could mean Justice League, which I assume is in the pipeline at some point. Probably not want to rush to it, but yeah.
I actually feel like I don't think they're going to rush to it, but I actually feel like James probably has an idea of like how he's going to get to the Justice League. I feel like that's definitely working in the back of his mind.
Now, whether or not that'll be me that's able to fulfill that promise depends on a lot of things in life. But yeah.
Okay. And I know you can't give too much away about Man of Tomorrow, but what can you tell us about what made this the natural step forward after Superman for you? Just considering that it wasn't a part of the original Gods and Monsters roadmap announcement that was uploaded to YouTube, for example.
Yeah, I mean, all of those things were more the setup things, So for me, I always kind of wanted to do this, but it also depended on certain things. But yeah, I love the character of Lex Luthor, and so I think being able to get into him a little more, as well as again Superman a bit more, and their relationship and the way they're the same and different was exciting to me.
Okay, absolutely.
That wasn't really much.
No,
he can't say too much about that.
He can't say too much, but there also seems like there might be a mix of him still developing a lot of this stuff. So it might be he literally can't say it. It might be.
That's a possibility. You're right.
So, well, when it comes to Lanterns, I mean, Lanterns fans are starving for a look. I know you can't say the precise date and time, and I'm probably pushing my luck here, but could we get our first peek at Lanterns before the year is over at all?
Okay. So I've seen the peak, I think, at least where it is now. But I don't know. I have no clue what when that's planned to.
So I want people to be reminded here in this moment is that James Gunn, contrary to whatever these other guys are telling you, doesn't control a lot of the stuff that happens with distribution or release dates or anything like that. He has some control over it. He has some say over it, but ultimately it comes down to what Warner Brothers decides to do or what Peter Safran might decide to do, since he's a part, he's his co-lead of the DC studios. So he can tell you what he knows in the moment, but things can change that James Gunn is not aware of that could have to do with there's other departments within Warner Brothers that handle these kinds of things.
Yeah.
DC has their own idea of their roadmap of things, and then Warner Brothers Distribution has another idea of their roadmap of how to do things. And like for example, if you work at DC and you're like, I want to put my show out in March of 2026, and you're like, that's the date we're going to submit it. They put in March of 2026, and then they come back and say, oh, we're doing a Dune show in March of 2026. We can't do this show in March of 2026. We have to have that Dune show, so we don't want them to overlap with each other. And they go, okay, so we'll put it out in April of 2026. They kick that back over to DC. DC is like, we can't do April. We have to do it at a later date because of XYZ. And that goes back to the Warner Brothers division. They're like, no, we can't do it. So that's the game they play with, like, these release dates for these shows. I don't think James knows any definitive stuff until like the paper hits his desk.
Yeah, to pretty much give you an idea, James Gunn is almost certainly a guy in the room when discussing this stuff, but like he's not the final voice, and he's not the main voice. He just in the room essentially,
right?
To be shown.
Yeah, more of a marketing side of things, I assume.
Yeah, and also it is like with HBO, my expertise, insofar as that goes, my knowledge of marketing is primarily based around films. That's what I have a lot of experience, going through the marketing of many films and seeing things that work, seeing things that don't work. And I'm so involved in all of that. I'm equally involved with the actual materials that you're seeing for the television shows. But in terms of the scheduling, I'm not as...
Thank you for confirming what I just said.
Yes.
I mean, just the thing for me is I love the picture of it, the concept of it, the true detective-inspired thing. So whenever we get that first look, I think people are really, really ready for that.
Yes.
And speaking of lanterns, you've already said that lanterns is really important in setting up things. I mean, you and Peter have said that from the start. Can you tell us a bit more with regards to what you mean?
Look at the laugh. No, he's not going to tell you more.
Well, I think it's everything. I think they're important characters, and so that by itself is important.
Yeah.
Without anything else, just like Peacemaker is an important character, still.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so there's that, but there's also other things that kind of go into far into the future in terms of what happens in that show.
Okay. And you've previously mentioned that some DC projects have had, a bit of a harder time
the
coming
Authority
along than others, whether that's, the Authority or whether it be Waller. I've always been curious about the Arkham show, which is a project you mentioned being one of the first pitches that you bought when you came on board at DC. So, this is way at, the back of 2023, so it's been a minute, but is there any hope for a series like that to still be a thing in the future, maybe?
Hope, sure, but that isn't something that's being developed by anyone right now.
Okay.
Just didn't run.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
So look, I felt like we were in a situation where they're trying not to make everything Batman, and an Arkham show with the Batman movie and the dynamic duo and the Batman part, the Batman part 2 and all of that. And even using Batman villains here and there, I just felt like Clayface coming out. Like, I just feel like there was a lot of Batman stuff. And I think the DCU, it would be really smart for them not to rely on everything being, to be Batman centric.
Yeah.
I understand that. And speaking of things kind of in active development, obviously we have the main DCU canon and we have Elseworlds. At the beginning of October, actually, Keanu Reeves said that they had another draft of Constantine 2 come in the way.
This movie.
That they were bringing into the studio. So I know there's a really high bar for greenlighting Elseworlds movies. Is this something that there's been much discussion about?
I've discussed it on and off. I discussed it with Keanu. So I think that's a great group of guys. I like all those people a lot. I think they're talented, but I have not read any script yet. So
That'll slow it down. No.
My prediction is the Constantine 2 movie is never happening.
Well, it's so long delayed, and it's been a while since I've seen it. Maybe if I rewatch it, I'll have second thoughts on it, but I remember not being too thrilled with it at all.
Look, I like when they announced it, I was like, okay, it's an Elseworlds movie. I'm okay with that, right? It's not going to affect anything, and I like Keanu, so
I do. I don't think he's a great
it.
John Constantine, but I do like him as an actor. I just saw Good Fortune. I thought he was great.
I could just tell you guys right now, we are coming up on the green lighting of a few other DC movies. Based on his response to Boba here, if he hasn't even read a script for Constantine 2 yet, we're talking like 3 years out, maybe 4, if they get a script in, because they've already got. I'm pretty sure they already know what they want to release between now and the end of this decade. Most likely,
there's a solid chance he knows. I mean, I think it's fair to say he knows exactly what's coming out between now and Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, I think that's all we have time for today, James. I would love to speak to you more, but that is everything.
All right. Well, that's the end of that video. Thank you guys for bringing that to my attention. There was some interesting stuff there. Shout out to Boba. I'm not going to watch the end of the video. If you guys want to watch the rest of it, go over and watch it on his channel. Show him some love. Leave him a like, leave him a comment, go and sub to him, show him a little support. One of the OG guys back in the day. I remember when he had like 10K subs, and now he's like interviewing James Gunn. So it's always really cool to see that pop up. So shout out to Boba on that one. We did have a comment here. We got a couple comments here. Lone Wolf with a $2 super chat. Favorite character development in Gen V Season 2? Probably. Let me think. To be honest, I like Polarity a lot. I think Polarity is a really cool character. I want to see more from him. Definitely not Marie's sister. I can't remember her name. I didn't really care for her too much. I think her powers are a little lame, to be fair. But yeah, so Polarity is probably my favorite if I had to go there. I don't know. We had a couple comments here from Anthony. Eric, my prediction is that Checkmate is going to be the DCU version of S.H.I.E.L.D. with King Faraday being the DCU version of Nick Fury. Thoughts? I don't think it'll be S.H.I.E.L.D.
I was about ready to say S.H.I.E.L.D. was actually corrupt as well.
And it was a government agency too.
So it's not quite S.H.I.E.L.D. No.
I mean, you could be right, Anthony. You very well could be. I don't see it for me as being something that they would do. Julia here with a good question. I have a question. When will the new DC have a black superhero movie or something like Static Shock, Steel Vixen, and Nubia? So the only names that I've heard, I think recently, was the Nubia name, like for the Wonder Woman, the Mascara storyline. They talked about that a little bit. And they did mention something about Static Shock movie. But
James Gunn mentioned he's read a script from Shaquille O'Neal, Ballasteel 2.
Did he? Maybe. But you're right, Julia. I agree. I think that they should be focused on adding a little bit more flavor into the DCU for sure.
Yeah.
We have a $4.99 super chat from Staggervore. It says, I heard that Paramount offered Zaslav a CEO position if he sells Warner Brothers to them. I have a bunch of information about that. That's literally going to be the next topic. I've done a lot of digging today, more than I could even... let's just put it this way. I've read so much about this that I've got notes and notes and notes. We'll go through all of that. But thank you for the super chat. We'll get into that in a moment. Cody here with a $5 super chat said a trademark actually got uncovered for a Salvation film. Well, that's pretty cool. Maybe that's what they mean by the Green Lantern doing more later on. Maybe they're going to have something to do with that. Because if you think about it, if it's not just dimensional, like if it's time and space, they might be able. The Lanterns might have access to like some way to go to that planet.
Yeah.
So that would make a lot of sense to me. It's pretty cool, actually. We have reached our goal for the super chats in the Reloaded stream. So thank you so much for everybody that donated. Make sure you vote in the poll to figure out what you want. I'll read them one more time. These are the top 5 lists for an upcoming stream. Top 5 heroes with capes. So if you like capes, then it's your top 5 list. Top 5 dream battles. That would be like 1v1. Any superheroes you like to see face off against each other. That in live action or cartoons or whatever. Not in comics, outside of comics. Top 5 legacy characters, because we all know what a legacy character is.
Yeah, so Peter Parker.
Peter Parker. And top 5 worst DC costumes of all time. This includes comics, movies, TV shows, and cartoons. So DC costumes that you absolutely hate are in that list. So those are the ones. Go ahead and vote on those. And thank you guys for helping us reach the goal for the night. I do appreciate it. All right, so let me get my pull up the old Twitter here.
God.
We're not going to read too much from Twitter, but I just want to have it here on the screen while we talk about it. Where's it at here? Bookmarks. Let's see. Got too many bookmarks here. All right, here we go. All right, so in case you guys aren't aware, the news came out for this the very next morning after the Nerdcast on Monday. So I've been on several other streams since this happened, and I've talked about it. I even made a short video about it. But there's a few names in the hat for people that are interested in buying Warner Brothers assets. And I said this, I don't know if I said it on Joe's stream or if I said it on the showcast. Again, it all sort of bleeds together a little bit. But I'm under the impression that they're going to be selling off bits of Warner Brothers and not Warner Brothers as a whole. That's my thoughts. What do you think, Bob? Do you think that's more likely or?
Well, listen, the one thing I am confident at is that David Zaslav will do whatever gets him the most short-term gains, because that is all he cares about. As far as, I'm not a huge fan of these studio heads, but David Zaslav is the worst in my opinion. He is
by far. By far.
If the Chuds actually cared about movies and art, all their videos would be about David Zaslav, not Kathleen Kennedy.
All right, so what do we know so far? Again, I've spent all afternoon doing this, so I have all of this is as recent as 4 hours ago. This is all the information that I had. So Paramount and Skydance appear to be the front runner to buy Warner Brothers up in its entirety, meaning the most likely company to buy Warner Brothers as a block. So everything that Warner Brothers has in the world, everything that Warner Brothers has to be sold, they want to buy it all. However, we'll talk about in a second. They've been turned down twice now. So other potential suitors in the ring for assets are Netflix, Apple, Comcast, which is NBC Universal, and maybe Amazon for some of their stuff. Warner Brothers Discovery itself has received unsolicited interest from multiple parties for both the entire company and Warner Brothers, but they haven't said who those are. Any of that surprise you at all, Bob, yet? Or does that sound about right?
No, nothing surprised me, no. I mean, the only thing that surprised me is that Warner Brothers is going for sale. They are one of the major studios still left.
Yeah.
There used to be a whole bunch of major studios, and it's whittled down to about 5 or 6, I want to say. And Warner Brothers is one of them. So them being removed is huge. Fox getting removed was huge as well.
And the thing is, Warner Brothers is the only real competitor for Disney.
Yeah.
Because none of the other ones really stand out. It's basically Warner Brothers and Disney every year for who has the most box office sales.
Watch,
right.
Disney will buy DC.
Well, Disney wasn't even listed in anything that I found, which is kind of funny. So the bids that were turned down, Warner Brothers board rejected an offer of Paramount for $24 per share, or $60 billion for the full company. I want to remind you guys that there are $35 billion in the hole still. So they want somebody to not only buy off the debt, but spend money on their value for the company. So if they think the company is worth $100 billion and they've got $35 billion in debt, then the magic number would be $135 billion. $60 billion isn't anywhere near how much they're going to take. I think it's going to be, they're going to want to, because keep in mind how much they sold Star Wars alone for. You know what I mean? They're not going to just, and Marvel and all these other companies, they're not just going to take $60 billion. It's not going to happen. They did reject an earlier bid of $20 a share right before that. So that's the second legitimate bid that Paramount has made. Now, there's some speculation about bidders who haven't placed formal bids, meaning people that have talked about it. Now, Netflix say they're not actively hunting mega mergers, meaning they don't want to be involved with legacy media. And Ted Sarandos, who's the co-CEO of Netflix, has said they're not changing their mind about that. And historically, we have been more builders than buyers, meaning they want to build their own brands. They don't want to buy brands. They don't want to acquire brands. What do you think about that?
To me, it sounds like they probably don't want to fess up the money that WB would want.
But they did. But there is a possibility that they want bits and pieces of the company.
I could see that, yeah.
So,
I mean, they've made deal with Marvel and stuff like that to do stuff. I don't see them actually having a big issue with working with older brands. It sounds more like them just saying, "Oh, we would," but no, we wouldn't.
now, Apple has said, or the Apple company has spoken with a few people, and some analysts speculate that they're only interested in assets. They don't want anything to do with HBO. So they just want the media itself. They don't care about the actual filming locations, studio space, HBO as a platform. They just want the IPs themselves, like not the physical assets. Now, Comcast could go after the HBO side of Warner Brothers because they would really like that. They also don't necessarily want assets, but they could spin some of them off. Again, they're less likely to take the whole debt-laden business. They don't want all that debt. They just want certain bits and pieces. To be honest, you guys, one of the big things that are helping Warner Brothers not get gobbled up immediately is that debt, is that $35 billion debt they have. If they didn't have that, they'd probably take a lot less for the company, to be honest. So also Netflix has publicly stated basically downplayed their interest in buying Warner Brothers. Paramount Skydance, they didn't make a detailed comment on the bid. I couldn't find anything from them specifically, but they've made several unofficial offers. So they've only made 2 official offers. Both of those were rejected. So any other conversations they have basically been turned down. All right. So is it going to be a full sell of the company, or is it just going to be parts and brands? So right now, most analysts believe that we're going to see a partial asset sell. Warner Brothers Discovery, they're going to split into 2 companies, and they're going to be selling off things for streaming, and they're going to be selling off assets, which I think is quite interesting. The debt burden of $35 billion in legacy cable networks make a full company sale harder and less attractive for almost any bidder. They're going to sell individual IP brands, and streaming studio business is more likely. At the same time, Warner Brothers board is keeping full scale on the table, meaning they would actually like to sell it all at once because it's a lot easier for them.
Oh yeah.
But I with $35 billion in debt, I just don't see anybody other than Paramount trying to get this company.
And Paramount's been very vocal about wanting to get them. That being said, like as far as comparing companies, like if I had to guess, I would guess Warner Brothers is bigger than Paramount, but maybe not. But even so, I don't see Paramount having the capital to just buy Warner Brothers, especially as they want.
I looked into this a little bit about whether or not they're selling off Warner Brothers and Discovery, or just Warner Brothers. So last year they split up the brands a little bit. So they're no longer on the same, like they were going to put it all into one service. They changed their mind. They went back into separate services. They took Max and made it back into HBO Max. They still have the Discovery app. So that's diversifying their assets a little bit. So in the current sale discussion, Warner Brothers Discovery says they will review either selling the whole company or just the Warner Brothers side. They've said that, which means that they would be willing to sell all of it, but it seems like most people are just interested in Warner Brothers. So where Discovery Global could be its own separate thing. All right, so what are the roadblocks to watch out for? Warner Brothers Discovery's got $35 billion in debt, which we already talked about. Legacy cable business, the parts of the company tied to linear TV networks, is seen as weaker growth, dragging value. So HBO as a brand might have brand recognition, but a lot of companies don't want a legacy network. They don't want HBO. Which, to be fair, I think in order for them to sell off any HBO shows as a whole, they're going to have to. The company that's buying them is going to have to agree to buy HBO as a network. I think that's the only way they're going to do it, because otherwise they're left with a network that has no content on it. Think about that. Like if they sell Game of Thrones and they sell off like Dune and they sell off all these other things, then HBO as a brand has no shows. So they would have to sell HBO and its content as a package deal.
Yeah.
So it looks here that the planned split of Warner Brother Discovery should be done in full by April 2026. So right now, people may not want to bid on all of it, which is why they're waiting, essentially. So I also want to point out, this is one of the biggest media stories in years. We're talking about a company that has DC, Harry Potter, HBO network up for grabs. This is very detrimental. I didn't put this in my notes, but I want to talk about it here, and then we're going to answer some super chats. this would be a net negative to everything.
Yes. Just like the Fox Disney merger was a net negative.
I agree.
As much as I love the idea of Marvel having control of the X-Men and Fantastic Four, yay, we got First Steps, great movie, and X-Men 97 was great. That being said, Disney got way too much power. They had I think they might still have like 40% market share right now.
They do.
It's
insane.
Crazy. It's ridiculous.
And it will be even more if Warner Brothers is gone. Like that, like
another powerhouse of a similar power. I don't know what, but like we're going to end up with two companies that control all the movies for the most part. It's ridiculous and it's bad. And
the other thing is, it will be even Warner Brothers will lose their power if all their IP gets sold off to different places. That's the other thing. Like if Amazon buys a few things, if Paramount buys a few things, if Netflix buys a few things, that will reduce that value in the movie industry. And so people that don't like, so I just want to put this out there. If you are not a fan of Disney, if you're somebody that doesn't like Disney, you don't like the stuff Disney is putting out, Warner Brothers being sold in assets is the worst possible thing that could happen, because what will happen is Disney will pick up much more open space during the year to release movies. So almost every month you will be getting a big budget Disney movie, and no other studio will be able to compete with that. Not at that level. Because this year, Warner Brothers actually beat Disney. It was by a hair, but their summer season, they beat Disney. That Warner Brothers was in number 1. Disney was number 2. We will never see that again if they sell off bits and pieces of Warner Brothers. I don't think we'll see it in my lifetime again.
No.
Disney would run theaters at that point, and they would drive culture. It would be all Disney. Now, I like Disney, so I don't care too much that Disney would have more space to put movies out. But as a fan of like cinema in general, I don't think I want Disney to be in charge of everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, the only possible competition would be whoever, like if Warner Brothers is about wholesale by Paramount, then whatever
exactly
monster conglomeration Paramount Warner Brothers get would be the only competition.
And Skydance, Paramount, and Warner Brothers all together in one company. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, a couple other companies merge, and then what? Do they just all merge together as one big company, and it's all fucking monopoly, and we're just ignoring monopoly laws now? Like, who knows?
True. I already got this bookmark, Lance. We're going to talk about that. Let's do our super chats first, and then we'll get into that bit about the WGA. Where are we at here?
I mean, we can talk about WGA blocking it, but like, the government, frankly, should be blocking this. Like, I feel like they should block the Disney Fox thing. This is ridiculous.
We have a $5 super chat from Lone Wolf here, again supporting the channel. Thank you, Lone Wolf. It's a 23-minute interview, but I recommend checking out the new Rockstar interview when you're offline. Maybe you can clip some of it for a discussion next stream. Let me ask the chat: would you guys be interested in me doing a reaction video to the new Rockstar interview as a separate video? I'd like to get it out before Monday, so I could upload it like tomorrow or Saturday. Like if you guys wanted me to watch that, I'd totally be good with that. Staggervorth, the 499 super chat here says, update, it was reported today that Paramount got turned 3 times. Okay, so it's a third time, an official being turned down 3 times. That's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. They're not into you, bro. It's about consent. I think it's got to go up to 3 digits. It's got to go up to 3 digits. 60 million, 70 million, 80 million. They're not going to blink on that. I predict that if they're going to buy the whole company with debt, it's going to be like $150, $200 million sale, maybe more. That's my prediction. Lone Wolf here with the $10 super chat. Thank you, Lone Wolf. I assume if the actor didn't pass, he would have been given the role of... we're talking about Gen V. We're talking about Chance Perdomo. I assume if the actor didn't pass, he would have been given the role of Polarity for season 2, and Polarity might have been the one to die as Fabe might fight for Doug. Great. Yeah, I fully believe that Chance's character would have been the one in that storyline, but they gave it to his father because of him passing in real life. I agree with you. I think that's true. I don't know if they'll ever talk about it because I don't even know if they care to discuss it, but that seems like the most likely scenario given the circumstances of the season. Cody with the $5 super chat actually shared something about this whole thing on the Discord server. The Orange administration is actually influencing the whole... You mean the merger between Paramount or the buyout of Paramount?
I mean, this is why Paramount Skydance has been courting Trump. So they
licking the balls. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, Cody, I'll look into that. I'm probably going to do another video on this. Well, I mean, chances are we'll be talking about this for a while because the sale is going to be ongoing. So I will look that up and dive into it maybe on Monday. Thank you for sharing that, though. Staggerforth at 999 Super Chat. What are the chances that Comcast has been preparing for this a whole while? While the reason they sold off some of their cable networks is to make room for the Warner assets. I wouldn't be surprised, but you got to have big money.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have big. You have to have the ability to throw this money around on the table. And there's only a handful of companies. Look, I can tell you right now, there's probably 4 companies that could buy Warner Brothers Discovery outright. That is Paramount, Apple, Amazon, and Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Sony if they wanted it, because Sony has a lot of money.
That's
Maybe true. Sony if they wanted it, but we don't know if Sony hasn't even been mentioned yet in any of the official offers. Anonymous here with the 199 Super Chat. Thank you so much. Thoughts on Emery situation? Twitch has their... Oh, did you hear about this, about the Twitch thing?
I haven't heard anything about this.
So there was a Twitch streamer... Chat, I'm pretty sure the chat knows more about this. So, like, if I get any of this wrong, let me know. But I'm going to try and shorten the story out a little bit. So, a Twitch streamer, she went there to be there for TwitchCon, and some random person came up during a Q&A session and tried to kiss her on stage in real life.
The fuck?
Yeah, like grabbed her and tried to kiss her. And I don't know if there was confirmed. Allegedly, there was a weapon. I don't know if that's true or not, but allegedly there was a weapon. Not totally sure. But yeah, the security tried to stop this from happening after it was already too late. He'd already grabbed her at that point. But then he was allowed to stay at the convention. They didn't kick him out immediately. Yeah, they didn't kick him out immediately, apparently. He was walking around. Oh. They banned him for 24 hours, and then they let him back on Twitch and stuff like that. And apparently there's some drama behind the Twitch CEO, Dan. I think his name is Dan Clancy. I think that's his name. It's a whole nother can of worms. Like, we could spend hours talking about this. Matter of fact, I might gather together all this information and we can talk about it on the showcast. I think it's really interesting to talk about. But I've already said a million times that I am not an IRL person. Like, I'm not going somewhere to be accessible like that. That's just not going to happen. Like, I might go in and do a panel like I did at the Virginia Beach Con that I did this past year. I might go do a panel or something like that, but there's no way you're going to catch me walking around if I was at the level of some of these streamers with like millions of followers just walking around at a convention without my own security. No fucking way.
Yeah.
No way that's going to happen. I feel bad for her though. It's fucking creepy. Really creepy and extremely disgusting. $2 super chat from Loon Wolf for season 2. Who is the better villain performance to you? Season 2 of,
I assume, Gen V, or maybe Peacemaker.
Yeah, I don't know, Loon Wolf.
Yeah.
Which one are you talking about? Because there's a lot of season 2s. But thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Gen V.
Gen V.
I liked Cypher when Cypher wasn't I don't want to spoil it. I liked Cypher before the reveal. It's probably my favorite. Very creepy, very, very good. I enjoyed it. I do want to look here. I thought I bookmarked it, but maybe I didn't. Let me check about the WGA and this whole situation. Here it is. Yeah, right here. Here we go. So the Writers Guild of America is trying to block this because they're saying what we're saying. It would be an absolute disaster.
Mm-hmm.
And it would, 100%.
I don't know if they would have the power to block it, but I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, the comment on there says disaster implies accident. It's deliberate capitalism. That's true. I think they're using that language to just showcase how bad it would be. It would be. I mean, I can't even imagine what the industry would look like if Warner Brothers lost 50 or 60% of that workforce, because that's what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I don't really fuck with Twitch anymore, you guys. Look, maybe one day I'll go back over there and start doing stuff, but I don't really fuck with Twitch like that anymore. I just don't. Also, this is interesting. Let me, I gotta close this here. Apparently, over on HBO Max, as we're talking about that. Let's take a look here. DC Reboot Superman moves up Nielsen streaming movie charts from number 4 to number 2 this week, representing that only HBO Max offering is on the top 10 list. Yeah, I mean, like, I've said before, these kind of charts don't mean much to me personally, but this is the metric that a lot of people judge success on.
Yeah.
So people are watching it, and most likely more than once if it's showing up in the streaming charts.
If it starts out strong and then sink a little bit and then rises back up, that indicates people are going back to it. Then
yeah. DJ and Bob may be the mature nerd YouTube version of a young thing Twitch cosplayers. I'll take that as a compliment. Kick, Rumble. I don't like either one of those places.
Oh, God.
Rumble is a shithole of political bullshit. Like you can even hear this from people that are political streamers. It's almost impossible to get popular on Rumble. It's like it really is a struggle unless you're like a big streamer.
Yeah, Rumble is pretty much just it's pretty much a right-wing cesspool, let's be honest. And it lots of people talk about how the view counts are inflated and crap like that. I don't trust it, and it's pretty crappy anyway. Kick was actually literally started to just be like Twitch, except it allowed gambling way more liberally than Twitch did. And it's kind of becoming a right-wing cesspool too. So it's kind of becoming the Rumble of streaming services.
Yeah. Jake has joined us this evening.
Yo,
hey.
Jake, how are you?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Okay, we're just talking about how well Superman is doing on streaming right now.
Oh, you mean it's doing better than all those stupid naysayers are making it out to?
Yes,
it's almost like it's
it actually moved up. It moved up 2 spots in a week, so it went from 4 to 2. So
go figure.
But let's see. The Quartering's making Brie Larson videos again. Jesus.
Listen, that's how you know they're not doing well. They're going back to their greatest hits.
On a side note, today, well, I guess yesterday now, was Sam Raimi's 66th birthday.
Oh,
Nice.
Happy birthday, Sam Raimi.
Yep, I did a whole short thing for it, but because of technical difficulties, fuck you, Camtasia, it's going to be coming out tomorrow instead of today.
Oh.
What was wrong with Was Camtasia part of that Amazon outage or whatever, or was it something else?
I don't know, but whenever I would go to render it, for some reason, like the video would show up fine in the viewfinder, like the dimensions would all look good. Then as soon as it would render, I would go to play it, and then everything was stretched out. I don't understand why.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. I don't know that. We have a fun video to watch, you guys. We're going to watch a trailer for the Marvel zombie thing or whatever. But
Thank you, Jose. I put some work into that.
What did he say? Hold on.
Look at this thing.
Oh, there we go. Alphabet video for Chainsaw's birthday.
Yeah, he put a reaction out for that today. I made that for him.
That's pretty funny. Maverick, look, you know I love a good debunking, but I don't know if I feel like sitting through another Brie Larson video.
Or another Critical Drinker one.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad. Like, yeah, you're right. Critical Drinker is already bad enough, and then it's just a Brie Larson. Like, the thing is, he's not saying anything new. That's the problem.
Like, has Brie Larson even said anything? That's been
no. They're making fun of the fact that she's probably not going to be in the first of the 2 Avengers movies. So they're saying that's a big deal. Or something.
Just like she wasn't in the first of the last pair.
Yeah. I mean, it won't surprise me. She's so powerful. They might want to, put her on the back.
Darth Zen, I talked about it briefly at the beginning of the stream, and I had a couple super chats about it. Like, I hate to say it, it's kind of throughout the stream. I talk about Gen V. Sorry.
I mean, like all those X-Men that are already in that movie and that are announced. I don't think they would go out of the way of announcing all the characters that they did if they were going to be just like a cameo. I don't think they would do that. So I feel like you're going to get a lot of them this movie, and then the ones that you don't get this movie will shine in the next one. Kind of like you got with Infinity War Endgame, because if you look at Infinity War, for example, Captain America didn't do a lot in that movie, and he really got to shine in Endgame. So
I also want to throw a wrench in the gears. How many times has Marvel lied to us in trailers about who's going to be in a movie and who isn't going to be in a movie? So I feel like,
when you saw Hulk in that Infinity War trailer,
and he doesn't show up at all after he fights Thanos. So
nope.
Yeah. All right, so this is a video somebody sent me to react to. I don't know if it's going to get claimed or not. Maybe it will. But it says, how the Fantastic Four should have ended.
Oh god.
And it's one of these animated videos, so it's actually pretty funny.
Those
But we're
are
gonna watch.
usually pretty fun, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna watch this just for a laugh. If it gets claimed, I do apologize. I will remove it, but hopefully it doesn't. What I love right here in this one little scene back there on the wall, it says product placement.
Right, I was gonna say, like, no one's gonna talk about Batman on a surfboard.
Yeah, it's just the bat board. That's all. So I'm assuming, I haven't watched this yet, but I'm assuming the Fantastic Four are going to leave the planet and let it get destroyed. I think that's what, I mean, most fans said that's the way they think it should end. I totally disagree with that, but I think a lot of people have said that.
It depends what the movie is setting up, but as the movie played out, would have been a terrible idea for the world to just get destroyed.
Yeah.
There's an edit or a chop. That's where people have said that something else should have happened. So like when the ship was blown up, that's where he probably read online that someone thought that's what should have. Absolutely. It's just funny because I was saying, like, how are they going to justify being heroes if they just leave everybody on the earth? Like they're
all jerks. They're all jerks.
Yeah, look,
that will be
and
a
I
great
kind of like
ending,
for all
guys.
these going forward, at least for the time being, I noticed that Superman is in the corn sweatsuit for like all these going forward.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because it used to be, like just the traditional kind of Reeve look. Same thing for Batman. It used to be more of a basic look, but they're in their current movie looks.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold on. I saw a comment that I was going to highlight. Oh yeah, right here. How Comics Explained wanted to, and I was like, dude, what? You wanted them to leave basically being non-heroes? That would have been awful. That would have been really awful.
He also said YouTubers should have been on a creative panel, so maybe he doesn't always say the smartest things.
Yeah.
True.
Marlon Wilson with the 4.9 super chat. Gen V kept making a point to show how lame Annabeth, that was her sister's name. I can't remember. Gen V kept making a point to show how lame Annabeth's powers are. I think she will actually end up being powerful. Maybe she's able to counteract Sage. So, Marlon, it's funny you say that. Essentially, while I was sitting here, we were talking about it after the episode. I said, you have Sister Sage, who has the powers to basically know and how to do everything, figure everything out. She's like she's like Batman with meta powers, essentially, right? Always has plans for everything. And then you have a precog who can see the future.
So
who wins that battle?
So Batman with meta powers is basically cosmic Superman, or not cosmic, composite Superman. That's half split down the middle.
Yeah. So imagine prep time being a superpower. So, but no, that's really what it is. So she's got that ability, but then you have a precog that can see the future. So who wins? That's that. I mean, I feel like their decisions would also affect their abilities because they would know essentially what was coming up. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the other thing is, if a precog can be trained to know everything, they would be the best fighter because they could stand there as they're fighting and in an instant know what move you're going to make. And if they could train themselves to use that power and they know how to fight, they would literally be unstoppable.
Hey, like Taskmaster.
Yes.
They can stop a bullet to the head.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Let's see where else we have this video. Wonder, they never tried to figure out how to stop Silver Surfer.
Fantastic Four, Fall of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, exactly. They never tried to figure that out. That's interesting. They had the baby out there waiting for
now we know what Thanos on that world looks like.
Anyway, thanks for suggesting that. Hopefully it doesn't get clipped out, but if it does, it does.
Yeah, man, 12 years later and Zod has still got that brace on.
It's funny because
that feel easy. Come on.
That was Zod from the DCEU too, by the way. So that's kind of funny that he was in there.
I'm surprised that Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor isn't part of the villain pub now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought they would have done that.
Maybe. Works for me. What else do we have over here? Oh, wait. I know. So I saw this earlier today, and I was like, oh, this isn't good. Let me find it here.
And you clicked it, I bet.
No. I mean, like, it wasn't good. Like, here we go. So it looks like Luke Cage may not be coming back to the MCU.
We don't know.
Because Mike Coulter took a job as a lead in another series. And it's on a network. So that means it takes...
He's been fairly busy since he left Luke Cage, so...
I mean, he could still do, like, side appearances here and there that's not as recurrent as, a lead role would be.
Well, no, I don't think it
And-
would be a lead role, but I'm saying like, I mean, in the MCU, I'm saying like a Heroes for Hire thing doesn't feel like it's in the cards now.
Oh, I mean, maybe not now.
I would also add, it
Now-
seems like lots of network TV shows aren't doing as high episode numbers as they used to do. They used to set
Yeah.
the standard of like 20 episodes and stuff, and they're doing lots of network shows with like 10 episodes now. No,
Really?
Yeah.
Let me see if there's any information on that in the article here.
Yes, Lone Wolf. She has been goaded since 2007.
13 episodes for this one.
Okay.
So, but it makes me concerned because I know we're probably going to see him back in some way in the Daredevil series,
yeah,
but I was kind of hoping for a Heroes for Hire show.
I
would
hear
like
that.
too.
I mean, I guess they could still do it if they could work out his schedule. But the thing about it is, if this show is 13 episodes and it films for network television, it's probably filming during the normal time of the year, and it's probably going to take maybe 2 to 3 months. He would have to dedicate another 2 to 3 months for like another TV show.
And it also kind of depends. So if this 13 episode thing, if he does it and it bombs, and yeah, I mean, he's open for Luke Cage, which frequently happens with TV series. That's the most common scenario. But it's also possible it's a huge success. If it's a huge success, maybe they decide they want to do a 20 episode order, in which case it's out.
Somewhere, I don't know where it is at the moment, but I've got that first issue of Heroes for Hire that released in the 70s.
Oh, nice.
It's a really good read too.
But I feel like Mike Coulter's been on a lot of shows recently, right?
He
He's been the
has.
lead of a handful of shows already. He was on the Evil show. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Oh, wasn't what the hell is his name from Lost? Damn it! Played Ben on Lost. What the hell's the actor's name? He's in Arrow too. Is the computer guy?
Yeah,
Fuck,
the guy with the glasses.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. It's Michael something. Wasn't he on Evil also?
Yeah, I think he was.
Okay.
Yeah. Finn, what about Finn Jones redemption? I don't think there is a redemption for Finn Jones by himself.
Listen,
Michael Emerson.
I will say
Okay.
I liked Colleen in that series, but
I want to see Daughters of the Dragon. Give me a Colleen and with some sort of a spinoff with her. I would be okay with that.
I want
Finn
to see a fully
Jones-
fleshed out Kunlun. Okay, I want to see that.
Yeah.
it does feel like they brought back Daredevil. It does feel like Jessica Jones is in the works, but
I would love
the
to
others
see a
haven't really
Colleen
seen
and Misty
Luke
Knight Daughters of the Dragon TV show. I think that would be
That'd
really
be
good.
Okay,
fun.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
But
that'd be
Finn Jones by himself, I don't think so. I like Finn Jones. I like him, but
Yeah.
I think we could totally benefit from a Heroes for Hire show with Luke Cage and Iron Fist. That's what
I would be fine if they did like a soft reboot of Iron Fist, or maybe even a hard reboot of Iron Fist, because it is
yeah. I mean,
not the best Marvel stuff. I mean, it's
But I
not
mean,
the
that-
worst. It's not the worst, but it's not the best.
it's the better of Scott Buck's two shows,
What was his other show?
Inhumans.
Ooh! Oh my God! Oh,
Yeah, he didn't have a
why
great
the hell
record.
did they give him Iron Fist? What the fuck?
Not season 2, only season 1 though.
Iron Fist was first, was it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it? I thought Inhumans was first.
Nope.
I think Iron Fist was. Chat will correct us if we're wrong.
Mm.
But I didn't
Still,
like
Iron
season.
Fist wasn't great. I don't know why they'd give him something else.
Yeah, Iron Fist season
mean-
2 was definitely a step up, but
Yeah.
season 1 was really rough.
I mean,
I don't
for the,
know
for the
about
same
the-
reason why Batwoman wasn't great, and then they gave those writers Gotham Knights.
I mean, I wouldn't even call Iron Fist season 2 good, but it was definitely better than season 1. Oh,
Yeah, I don't know if this Crazy Joe is the same Crazy Joe, because isn't it Crazy Joe's concession stand? But it is a Muppet. That makes me think it is Crazy Joe. But yeah. Aren't you at a movie? That's why you said you couldn't be here. You were. Are you sitting in the movie watching us?
Ask that Muppet if they like Joker too.
oh God! Oh no!
So it was slightly before Inhumans. It was in March and then in August.
I knew it was
Okay.
first.
God.
Yeah, it is, Joe. I don't know how long you'll be live. I just got out of the movies. I'll be home in 15 minutes. I mean, we'll still be live in 15 minutes. I'm going to go for 2 hours no matter what. And we have a couple cool lists if anybody wants to do it. I know that we're short a bunch of people, so we might just do one tonight because so many people aren't here. Wait. I had another thing in my notes here. Ooh, hold on. Pull this up. I saw this today and I was like, I don't really have much to say in terms of like, because there's not a lot of details on it, but I thought it was interesting. We're getting this news now. Like all of this stuff is sort of coming out. Where's it at here? Oh, here it is right here. David Fincher reportedly pitched a Star Wars film set after Rise of Skywalker. He wanted a final cut and Lucasfilm said no.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm really like, this is like Quentin Tarantino's Star Trek movie where I'm like, that is so batshit where I'm like, I kind of want to see it. Like, what are you doing?
You mean like James Cameron's Spider-Man pitch?
Well, that one, like,
I'm so glad that didn't happen.
Oh no, I'm glad it didn't happen. But I can see James Cameron handling Spider-Man more than I can see Quentin Tarantino doing Star Trek or Fincher doing Star Wars.
I don't know. I read those storyboards for that back in the day, and yikes!
Mm-hmm.
They were bad.
Arnold as Dr. Octopus would have been amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
So here's the rest. Here's the rest of the info down below. Let me scroll down here. It would have centered on a character from Episode 9. Fincher previously worked as an assistant cameraman on Return of the Jedi. Kathleen Kennedy produced his film, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Now, I want to point out this does come from the Insider. So,
oh god,
but
everything's green salt, yeah.
But if this were true, would you guys have been into this, like a David Fincher Star Wars movie with a character from Rise of Skywalker? And what character would it have been?
I assume it means exclusively Rise.
I was about to say, what character was exclusive to the Rise of Skywalker?
I can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
What, the Kerry Russell Pose X character?
Let me look it up. I'm just curious.
Finn's brief possible love interest.
Oh
character.
no, everyone's favorite character.
Yeah, I can't even name him. Maybe that little Muppet guy that hung out with C-3PO. That was probably the best character.
All right, let's see what it's got here. Which characters are exclusive? So, Allegiant General Enric Pride. The Zori Bliss character is Kerry Russell. I'm looking at the cast right here. She's an old acquaintance of Poe Dameron. Jana, which was played by Naomi Aki, which was the First Order Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Babu Frick, that little tiny creature, I guess.
Yeah, I want to see David Fincher do a Babu Frick movie.
Bulio, which is a Mark Hamill uncredited cameo. It's an alien resistance ally who gives information to... Oh, I remember. He gives resistance information early in the film.
Mark Hamill was already getting paid for that movie.
And there was a character called the Oracle, but it was a deleted scene. So I guess out of those, it would have to be Zori Bliss, the Kerry Russell character.
Most likely.
Because she was a smuggler, right? Wasn't she a smuggler as well?
Yeah.
God, every time somebody says the Oracle, I don't even think of DC. I think of Jack and Daxter. I don't know if anybody's played those games or not, but every time someone says Oracle, that's where my mind goes.
Yeah.
See, my mind goes to Matrix.
That's
fair.
That's another good one. Yeah. Yeah. Anthony says right here, David, I'm pretty sure David said he'll never do another franchise movie after Aliens. I don't believe this report whatsoever. It is the Insider, so take it for what it's worth.
Here's my take. This is kind of batshit in my opinion, so I'm all for it. I absolutely want to see it.
Would you like it legitimately a David Fincher what is it, a Zori Bliss movie or whatever? Like,
only because it's David Fincher.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but at the same time, it's like, you know, like, would it be interesting to see? Sure, but you know,
I mean, I absolutely understand why they turned him down if it's true, which is highly suspect.
Yeah,
but I would be down for it.
Oh God. Okay, that's one I've never been asked before. Over there in the chat, I've never got that question.
All right, let's pull this up here. Wait, which one?
From Twilight.
Oh,
Hold on. Awakens the Oracle. There you go.
oh, all right. There we go. Lone Wolf with the super chat for $2. Heesh is goat. I think Heesh or
Hizzy.
Hizzy, is that it?
I always call it Hishy.
Okay. Is goated going since 2007. Yeah, around forever with that channel. When someone sent it to me, I was like, I didn't even know this person was still making these videos.
I mean, they still pop up on my feed because I will show those to my kids.
Babu Frick and Jar Jar are the real Sith.
Well, Chris, if you've never played the games, I'm doing a Let's Play of the first one on YouTube.
There we
Just
go.
saying, you can get your fix that way.
Let's see. Oh, here we go.
You wearing a Street Fighter shirt?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought.
All right, so someone, I can't remember who it was, earlier in the chat gave a super chat for this trailer, so we're going to watch this. It's the Marvel Zombies Marvel Rivals announcement.
Oh,
trailer.
yeah, I saw that. I did see this.
All right, it's not very long.
Time to make the undead dead again.
The map looks really cool,
And
actually.
that one part made it look like Pokemon.
Slice and dice. Vengeance in Spectre's name.
Oh, that's really cool. So I wish that I was into first-person shooter type games.
I
shooter
know.
type games.
That's my
This
big
isn't
thing.
first person; it's third person.
Oh, I mean,
Well,
just
yeah.
this type of game anyway, like a looter shooter type game. I'm just not into that type of stuff.
Yeah,
I
mean,
was into Unreal Tournament for a heartbeat in college, and that was about it.
I liked Overwatch a lot. You know, a decade ago, when this was really kind of inspired by Overwatch when they were making it, it was literally pitched as Overwatch with Marvel characters.
Yeah,
But also with them constantly calling out the moves and everything, it made me go back to the Marvel Capcom days, and everybody would call out the moves, and they do.
Mhm.
we had another super chat here from Screwface Capone super chat. Babu Frick solo for the win. This is the way.
Directed by David Fincher. I'm game.
Oh my god, that would be so
In
fucking
theaters, May
hilarious.
2027.
Oh my god, that would be fucking hilarious.
The true Sith Lord revealed.
Somehow
trying
the
to-
Sith have returned.
Babu Frick never went away.
Thank you, Dalton, for the compliment. I'm wearing the appropriate shirt for it too.
What is that here? Oh, right here.
What
Yeah.
Dalton said. I'm wearing the appropriate shirt for it too.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man shirt.
Well, it's the Black Spider-Man. So,
What's in the box?
oh my god.
God.
You
Yes,
know
in a
what?
Babu
That's,
Frick movie, a box with a head in it. Yes.
Since I've seen that movie. Oh my god,
Uh,
I love Seven.
oh no, Lone Wolf says Rivals has some hardcore gooning online since new skins dropped. Wow.
I'm sure it
What do you mean
does.
since new skin drops? That was the case beforehand.
I mean, probably half of what I've heard about Marvel Rivals is, oh my god, have you seen Invisible Woman's butt? Oh my god, have
Babu
you seen
Frick's
Emma
web
Frost's
connects
outfit?
them all. So his web connects them all. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, Rob, to that point, there's probably someone out there that's into bestiality and they're getting it off to the shark.
I don't need to know about that.
I'm just saying, with how fucked up the world is, that probably exists.
I'm sure it does. And
Too
I was
funny.
a lot happier a few seconds ago.
Let me make sure I have everything. That was
See, it's crazy the difference that a few seconds can make.
I know.
All right, I have one more thing listed in the topics that I need to look at here. And actually, this one's pretty cool. We looked earlier at a video. We were watching the Movie Talks video with James Gunn. But I saw this, and I thought we could talk about this for a moment. And all right, so here we go. It looks like DCU Lanterns has officially wrapped filming. Aaron Pierre described the show as a grand scale in every sense of the word, releasing early 2026.
Here we go.
I didn't know it was releasing that soon. I wonder how much post-production it needs then. I would assume it'd need a decent amount, but maybe not.
In the interview we were watching earlier, James seemed apprehensive to say anything about seeing them before the end of the year. But if this is going to release early in 2026, I assume we're going to get a trailer before, or at least a teaser before the end of the year.
I would think so.
I'm actually surprised we haven't seen more promo photos of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the two of them walking on the streets about the only thing I can really think of.
And then there's been a couple of behind the scene photos, but very bad quality pictures. But I wonder if the reason why we're not seeing a lot of photos is because they feel like it's going to give away too much. Even though it doesn't look like it's just two guys walking down the street. I don't know what else they could be hiding, I guess, from us.
Oh no, look, first comments, already someone complaining.
Underneath of it?
Yeah.
Let's see what it says here. I'm very careful about scrolling on Twitter. Bullshit. Same thing was said about Peacemaker from DC president himself. Okay, cool story. Grand scale is exactly what Green Lantern needs. Past attempts felt too grounded. I'm hoping this one leans into the cosmic elements. Well, it's probably not going to.
Past attempts felt too
I was about
grounded.
ready to say, listen,
What do you mean?
You can complain about there's lots of things to complain about that fucking Ryan Reynolds movie. It definitely had cosmic elements.
Yeah, like it was not, on the if anything, he spent more time in the air than he did on the ground.
Yeah.
So here, this better have bigger budget than Peacemaker.
I mean, I'm assuming it's going to.
They've been filming this since the first Green Lantern flop just to make it right. What?
Well,
it's gotta be true. He has a blue check mark. They don't
Yeah,
do that
Twitter's
just
just-
anybody.
People act like Green Lantern is the worst DC film ever, and there are at least 10 that are worse.
I read
God,
so many
yes.
comments on Twitter where I'm just like, what the fuck are they even talking about?
That's not saying Green Lantern's a good movie. It's not, but there's a lot worse.
I mean,
there's a lot.
I think it's an overhated movie. I'm not saying it's like amazing, but it's got good aspects.
Oh
sure.
yeah, I would definitely agree to that.
I mean,
How
plus,
grand can it be if it takes place entirely in Nebraska? I won't totally disagree with that comment.
I mean, plus, Michael Clark Duncan is an absolute champ.
This is kind of saying
yeah,
what Bob was saying. If it just wrapped, there's no way we're getting it in early 2026.
Yeah, at least if we do, that makes me wonder how much post production is involved with it.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. Calling it going to be the best part of this phase of the DCU.
I don't know. I feel like Supergirl has a chance to be that.
Here it goes. I like how this film. I didn't see a single leak or rumor about it. Yeah, I don't. I only saw 2 grainy pictures of like Aaron Pierre, and that was it. It wrapped in July. This is false. Well, we'll see.
I mean, they didn't. Well,
I mean, if it wrapped in July, it would make more sense for it to be released in.
Hold on. Can you scroll back up?
Yeah.
To the top of the thing. Sorry, I
Of
just
course,
want to.
we're also looking at Twitter.
Yeah,
these are
sorry, I just want the headline shown for a second.
Oh, the very top. Okay.
Yeah. Has officially wrapped filming. Doesn't mean it just happened today.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It didn't say that.
Yeah, it did not give a date that it wrapped filming. So
Also, we don't know if they were talking about like additional pickup shots or any sort of post-production stuff they were doing. We don't know for sure.
Yeah, that's true. They might have done like the lion's share of it back in July, but now they had, now the schedule's cleared up. They got a couple more stuff they wanted to clear out, and they got that done.
No, Julia, it's Ulrich Thompson as Sinestro.
All right, so do we want to do one of these lists for tonight at all?
I'm game.
What are the contenders?
we had 3 choices, but I think we had 2 of them that we were kind of leaning on, which is women in comics or top 5 best Marvel castings. Those were the 2 that we were talking about doing for tonight.
I think it'd be more interesting to do the castings one when we have a bigger group.
Okay. So we want to do women in comics?
Sure.
All right, let me go over here. I have my list somewhere. Let me find it.
Are we doing 5 or 3?
We'll do. We got 30 minutes, so we'll do 5, and it's only the 3 of us.
All right.
So these are going to be like women in like actual characters in the comics.
Yeah, not
So-
like no creators.
Right. Yeah.
So
That was its own list, if I remember correctly.
what
Yes.
top 5 favorite?
Yeah, just your
Well-
favorites. Yeah.
And women characters, I assume.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
As opposed to what?
Well, writers and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, not creators.
All right.
Number one's predictable.
I have found my list.
My number 1 might be predictable also.
Since it's just the 3 of us, we're just going to go in the order we're in. So it'll be like me, Bob, Jake. There's no point in spinning the wheel for the 3 of us.
All right.
So, it looks like Joe has arrived.
Ooh.
Joe just got home.
Yeah.
What did you go and see? I forgot. You told us earlier, but I forgot what it was.
The Black Phone 2.
That's it.
Ooh.
That's it. Yeah.
I've heard good
Yes.
things.
I heard good things too.
No, that doesn't sound promising.
I didn't care for it.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. All right. So, Joe, you can hang out and chat with us for the next, because I'm only gonna stay on for 30 more minutes.
Okay.
But we're doing our list of top 5 women in comic books. I don't know if you wanted to participate in that or not. We're talking about characters in comics, not the actual creators themselves. So, women across all comic history, your top 5 of those characters. And now that we have 4 people, I'll go ahead and spin the wheel. So, because I wasn't going to do that for 3, but I'll do it for 4. See you later, Reed. Have a good night.
Mhm.
All right, let's see what we got here. We have Jake, we have Joe, and we have Bob. And I will go last because I'm trying to be a gracious host. Let's see.
What? What's funny?
No, they said, what was it? Reed said, I pressed the like button.
Oh, gotcha.
Ooh.
All right. So for tonight's list, as we're going through these, if you like it, you need to throw an apple. If you dislike it, you throw a banana. Those are the 2 things. Apples are good, bananas are bad for today. I don't know if I agree with that all the time, but for the sake of this list, that's what we're going
We
with.
got to keep the doctors away.
Yeah. All right. Spin the wheel is in full effect here, so we'll do that in a second. Before we do that, let me go ahead and end the poll for tonight.
Oh, what were the options?
Top 5 heroes with capes.
Oh, God.
Top 5 dream battles you'd like to see. So it could be any type, like any 1v1 of any 2 characters. Top 5 legacy characters that carry on the legacy of another like OG character.
All right.
Or top 5 worst DC costumes in all media. So comics, movies, TV shows, and cartoons. So you could pick your top 5 least favorite and give like which one it is specifically.
Ooh.
So let's see which one
Yikes.
won out of all of those.
I feel like the costumes might win.
It did. Top 5 worst DC costumes.
All right, I called that. Someone give me $5.
All right. So we're going to spin the wheel and see what order we're going in here. I will go, like I said, I will go last. Here we go. Well, looks like Bob is up first.
Ooh.
I Bob here. Let's see. All right.
Now, are we going worst to? Well, are we going up to our favorite? Or are we starting with our favorite?
I usually start at 5 and go to 1, but
Okay.
that's only my personal way of doing it. Oh, looks like Jake is second. Gives Joe a little more time to think, I guess.
I got my list.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To be fair, 2 of them I had to put on there so I don't get beat up by people in my life.
Hey,
All right.
it's good a reason as any.
I know Jake hates being in the comments, but because of your position, this is where you got to go. So,
What is this? It's just gonna be like Hungry Hippos, where I just eat the text.
yeah, you're just eating the text the whole time. Okay, so I do see your super chat, Staggerville. We'll read those super chats at the end here. But we're going to start out with Bob. What order are you going in, or do you have an order?
Okay, I'll go with my number 5 here, and my number 5 is Rogue. I've just always found her an interesting character. Just the fact, having to deal with not being able to touch people, but also just her character development over the years. I loved her as the leader of the X-Men, even though that run started great and didn't really pan out. But I've just always found her an interesting character. I think she's great.
I agree with that one. It looks like you're already getting apples. Jay's giving you some apples down there. Remember, apples are good. Thumbs up works as well. Bananas are bad. So, and if you want to, you could even say like who you're giving apples to, if you want to do that. So, okay, Jake, what is your first choice?
Well, since Bob literally took my number 1, make some adjustments here.
All right.
All right, so I guess I'll work my way up to an alternate number 1 now.
Are we not allowed to repeat?
No. You can take people's stuff, so it's supposed to be good about it.
I'm a good sport. There's only a few times where I've broken that rule. So for my number 5, I am going to go with Dinah Lance, Black Canary.
Okay.
And I always loved her and Oliver Queen together, but I think she's a very competent, strong character in her own right. Has connections to a lot of my favorite sides of DC, whether you're talking about obviously the Green Arrow side, but also the Batman side, the JSA Wildcat side. I just love that she and Ollie are kind of opposites. Like she is like a take no BS, get things done kind of individual, whereas Ollie is that kind of comedic, lighthearted side that kind of balances her out. She's had a very tumultuous run in live action. It's been very up and down. It's either been great, middle of the road, or terrible. And I'm hoping we get her adapted well in DCU. I really hope that happens, and not all these pseudo versions that don't really feel like the character. But yeah, I got to go with Dinah.
Okay, good choice. All right, Joe, you're up next. Who are we thinking about?
All right. Well, number 1, my wife will kill me if I don't say her all-time favorite character,
Okay.
Wonder Woman.
Okay.
My wife is the biggest Wonder Woman fan you're going to meet. That television we have there, I think I've told this story before. We only own that television because Wonder Woman 84 debuted on HBO and the theaters were closed. And she said, if I have to watch a Wonder Woman movie on my television for the first time, we're going to go out and buy a big ass television. So thank you, Wonder Woman, for my TV. So yeah, there you go.
Okay. It's a good way to put it.
You took my number 2, so.
Oh, you got to replace it, Bob. So you got to fill in your number 2 with someone else.
Sucks, doesn't it?
I will move on to my number 4.
Okay,
here.
go for
My number
it.
4 is Shadowcat. She's always a character I've really loved. Days of Future Past was always a great storyline, but like just in general, I just love her character. She's like the teenage character that I actually really like. Although honestly, I did like Generation X at the time, but just of the classic teenage characters, I thought she was always great.
Kitty Pryde. Jake, was that one of your lists?
No, it wasn't.
I felt like I was like it's an X-Men character, a New Mutants character. So
I do have mutants
X-Men
on
have
there.
great women characters.
They did. There's a lot to choose from.
I do have mutants on there, but Kitty Pryde was not one of them.
Okay. Well, then what is your number 4?
So my number 4, is a mutant, funnily enough. And this is another character that's had been kind of up and down in terms of live action appearances. And we're actually going to see them again in a little over a year. And that's Mystique. I really like the layers that they've given.
You like the Jennifer Lawrence version? Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Best version ever.
I really like the layers that they've given to her character over the years. At first being that like kind of mother to Rogue, but not really what you would want to see in a mother
not
figure.
The best mother.
She's just raising a weapon basically. But I love what they've done with her and all the other animated adaptations, especially Wolverine and the X-Men, where they gave her that connected backstory with Wolverine where she remembers it all, but he doesn't. And that's one of the reasons I'm excited to see her pop up in the Wolverine game next year to see what they do there, see if they build upon any of that history. And, I really got introduced to that character through, the 90s cartoon, the 2000s movies, and the X-Men Legends games. And, I don't know, like on the evil side, it's like she has a fun kind of sinister charm to her whenever she's on the bad side, but then you also see the layers whenever she switches sides or somewhere in the middle because of either Rogue or Kurt. So one with Mystique.
Okay. All right. That brings us to Joe. What is your number 4?
All right, we'll get to my picks next because I'm going to give you another one that I'm doing for a friend here.
Okay.
But I do love this character. Don't get me wrong. Little movie perp is going to kill me if I don't say Batgirl. So
you got to specify. There's been multiple.
The prime Batgirl, but Barbara Gordon, the one that I first grew up watching with Yvonne Craig in the costume. So
Ooh, classic.
But
All
yeah,
right.
no, I love Batgirl. I'm giving it for perp, but I love Batgirl. And damn it, release her movie.
Yeah. Little trivia here. I don't know if anybody knows the name Karen Whitfield, but she was actually the person who toured with Adam West and Burt Ward as Batgirl in costume, and I've actually met her on multiple occasions.
Pretty cool.
Very cool.
All right, so that brings us to Bob. Where are you at on your list, number 3?
You know what? I was going to do. I'll jump around my order a bit because I know Chris asked for a Marvel character that's not mutant related. So I'm going to jump around to why I have listed as my number 1. I pretty much love this character mainly for season 1 of their show, but the comic book was decent. But I think I love the season 1 show version the best. And what I love about this character is that part of what makes her so powerful, part of her strength is the fact that she's broken. And I love that that's part of her strength. So I'm, of course, talking about Jessica Jones. I thought season 1 was so good. So it's a great season 1.
Okay.
Fantastic character.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right. That brings us to Jake.
So my number 3, I'm going to use a title that's already been said, but I'm going to deviate a little bit. And I'm going to go with, even though I love Barbara Gordon, I'm going with my personal favorite Batgirl, and that's Stephanie Brown, who becomes the spoiler alongside Tim Drake whenever he goes off and forms his own identity. And her dynamic with Tim Drake and the solo Robin books of the 90s was one of the things carrying DC at that time, because not a lot of people were connecting with Nightfall. And those comics really made me love just not only the dynamic between those two, but Stephanie as a character in her own right. Because you see, she's not great as Batgirl at first. She doesn't just seamlessly go into the role, and then she kind of has Oracle to be a mentor figure of sorts, and then it starts with her and Cassandra kind of being a duo, and then when Cassie leaves after Bruce Wayne is gone, she kind of hands the cowl over to Stephanie. It's like, hey, you're doing this now. And she kind of gets thrown into it against her wishes. But I love the dynamic that they have between her and Tim. And when she becomes the spoiler later on, which you saw in Young Justice, love what they do with her character. So I'm going with that.
Okay. Fair enough. With that being said, it brings us to you, Joe.
All right. My favorite Marvel lady, She-Hulk.
Oh, good choice.
You know, she broke the fourth wall before Deadpool. She yeah, I know that pains some online trolls to hear that, but guess what?
Who cares what the
It's
trolls
kind of
think?
funny. It's kind of funny how that when she danced on her show, it was quote unquote cringe, but suddenly when Deadpool dances to Bye Bye Bye, it's cool. Double standard? I don't know.
I mean, one's a better song.
All right, so that brings us to Bob.
Yeah, I'm going right back into the mutant pool. So this is a character. Well, this is a character I love, just because like they remind me so much of honestly their male counterpart. They feel a bit more distinguished than their male counterpart, but like they have the same edge, and I just love that about them. And this is X-23. X-23 is just so fucking badass. She's just as badass as Wolverine, really. And I love it. I love.
Yeah, no, I love that dichotomy you get between her and Logan. You know, Logan's somebody that tries to piece his past together over the years, and meanwhile, Laura is somebody that remembered every little ounce of torture and pain that happened, and she's a child, so you really see the parallel between the two of them. It's great.
Yeah, great character.
Oh yeah,
all right.
She has been phenomenal in the movies too.
Was that one of your choices, Jake, or no?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I thought about it, but I was like, someone's probably going to go there.
Yeah. Okay. So, what is your number two?
Right, so I am going back over to the DC side again for the last time, and this is probably not going to shock anybody. But while I was a lot more of a fan of the male counterpart of this character, which is again not going to surprise people, I also did love this legacy character, if you will. And this legacy character has actually had a proper live action adaptation, whereas their male counterpart has not. And that is Yolanda Montez, the second Wildcat.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw her in Stargirl, and she was one of the better characters on that show, in my opinion. You know, she has I actually really like her adaptation in that show, where she's kind of on that same, you know, level as I almost called her Breck, as Courtney, and you see, you know, like that kind of teenage naivete to her, but also they're trying to find, you know, their way to just work together as one coherent, you know, clock, which is really the case for the majority of the team. But she is, you know, one of those characters that's inspired by, you know, Ted Grant, who's been, you know, like an adoptive father to her in multiple instances, and you know, he's got a lot of, you know, like pain and darkness inside of him that he doesn't really want to inflict her with, but she takes what he did and brings a light to it, and I really like the way that that's portrayed.
Okay, sounds good. That brings us to your number two, Joe.
Come on, Chris, why were you shocked? You knew that was going to happen.
All right, I'm going civilian here.
Okay.
Most of us have done heroes, but I'm going civilian. Sue Dibney.
Oh,
Ralph Dibney's wife. Just, you know, Ralph and Sue are one of the greatest couples in comic history, and Sue, not only is she a great supporting character to Ralph, but during the Justice League International era, which is my all-time favorite comic book run of all time, she kind of stepped up and was sort of one of the leaders of Justice League Europe. She was always, you know, helping out Catherine Colbert, who was the embassy leader. She really was a great character. I don't know if she's dead or not right now. I know they killed her off, but DC's always changing their canon, so I have no idea if she's dead or alive right now.
Yeah. Good choice. All right. So, Bob, we are at the top of your list. So where are we at with you?
Well, just for the record, Jessica Jones was the top of my list. But
okay.
The one missing name was Wonder Woman. So since that one's already been called, I mean, she's a great character. I'll go ahead and go for Storm because she's just fantastic. Yeah. I mean, it's obvious, but it's such a great character. For all, like, I don't even have to explain.
So far, my list is solid. I haven't had to swap anything out yet, so I'm doing good. But Storm was almost on my list. She was very close to being on my list.
She's
for sure.
Great character, man.
I thought about it too.
Jake, What is your top choice? Because I know your number one was something else before, right? So
Yeah, my top choice got taken out at the very beginning. It was Rogue. So yeah, that I had to do a little bit of a switch around with that one. This is we are going back into the pool of the mutants.
Okay.
And I think this was a character that I resonated with when I was closer to the age that they are commonly depicted, and it was mainly because of this particular show that the character was in that I liked. That I grew to connect with the character as much. Maybe this is one people won't expect, but I'm going with Jubilee.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She was a contender for me.
Yeah, I mean, like growing up as a kid into that kind of, like mall arcade type nature that you see her in like the early animated series episodes, I, felt right at home, if you will, there. I thought that, like just her, again, like I was talking about with Yolanda Montez, kind of that naivete into a bigger world, like your POV character. We were getting exposed to all that stuff about the mutants as she was, and she was kind of learning it. And you see by the end of that series that she's kind of stepping into a leader role where she's leading some of the newer, generation of just kids that are coming into the world. And, I love what they did with her in '97 too, where you see she still has that, like bubbly personality, but there's been a growth and a maturity to her character, and the various things that she's been in, like the X-Men Legend games, she's a lot of fun in those. She's been done horribly in the movies for like the little amount of time that you see her. I really would like to see her.
I don't know if it even counts. Yeah.
Right. Like the most you got out of her in the movies is that deleted mall scene in Apocalypse, which is probably would have been the best scene in that movie had they left it in. But yeah, they've really done that character.
We're seeing a lot of apples tonight, not a lot of bananas. So I feel like all the choices have been really good so far. And that brings us to the end of Joe's list. What do you got, Joe? So far, so good for me. My 5 are clear. What have you got for your last choice here?
I'm gonna go with an obscure one, but come on, everybody knows me. Who's my favorite superhero of all time? Booster Gold.
Oh,
and I'm going with his sister Goldstar.
Oh,
a character who hasn't been around for quite a while, but
you just took away Eric's number one.
When you said Booster, when you said your favorite character, I'm like, wait, is there a Booster Gold version that's a woman?
You're not getting a Gold Star.
So Goldstar.
I can hope. I can hope.
So, there we go. Harrison said, I don't think there's been a single banana tonight. Well, don't jinx it yet. I haven't done my list. And I actually think Lone Wolf dropped in the bag. We might bring him up and let him do his list quickly before we go. So we'll do that in a moment. But none of mine were taken, surprisingly. None of them. I'm really good at like figuring out what other people are going to pick.
Wait. Chris, you're only watching it through for the first time now? What have you been doing?
All right. So here's my list. Let me pull it up over here. We're going to go from 5 to 1. Actually, there's no real particular order, I guess, but these are all really good characters.
Were none of yours taken?
None of them.
Wow.
Number 5 for me is arguably one of the most dynamic characters, dynamic women in all of Marvel Comics based on the storylines that she's been given. And that is Emma Frost, the White Queen.
Ah, okay.
So she's my number 5.
That's a good one.
I have always loved this character since way back in the day with Chris Claremont, John Byrne. Like, I thought this character is really cool.
That's always her best.
Yeah, I think she really, really just was. Her powers are great. Her second evolution of powers also really interesting. So always enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me is going over to DC, and that is a character by the name of Coriander, aka Starfire. One of my favorite characters from Teen Titans.
Oh, we got the bananas coming in. Oh,
Starfire? What the heck? Oh,
no, for Emma Frost.
Oh, okay.
But
Chris, it's okay. You're allowed to be wrong.
I love Starfire. She's one of my favorite characters from Teen Titans. Like as a kid, I remember just being really excited about her flying. Like when she flies around and her hair was trailing behind her. I always thought that was really cool as a kid when I saw that on the comic book covers. All right, Number 3 for me is going to be from Marvel Comics, and we saw her in a movie this year, and that is Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. I've really enjoyed her. I really enjoyed her throughout comics. I loved it when she was leading the Fantastic Four. I think she said some really great stories. Her 90s costume, not so great, but pretty much everything else about her.
I had the boob window of the four.
Boob window with the 4, yeah. Not too great on that one.
Yeah, nope.
All right, my number 2 is a character that had a massive impact, arguably the biggest impact on Marvel Comics to date as a standalone character, and that is Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. Love her when she said no more mutants and literally changed the dynamic of Marvel Comics overnight with that. House of M, one of the greatest stories I've read in recent times from Marvel Comics. I guess you can still call it recent times. It's
even Messiah Complex too. Great follow up.
Yeah. And my number 1 character, I could not believe anyone picked this character.
Wait, no, I know who it is now. Never mind.
Could not believe that no one picked this character, because this character for me is like, I thought for sure. I'm like, if I'm going to have to change anybody, it's going to be my number 1 character.
I know who it is.
One of the most iconic X-Men of all time. Jean Grey, Phoenix / Dark Phoenix Marvel Girl. Absolutely one of my favorite characters. When I tell you guys I really want a good Dark Phoenix storyline, I mean, you need to give us Phoenix for a little while and then give us Dark Phoenix. Do not give us all of it in one movie.
I don't want to see that for at least 5 years.
Boy, no matter how long it takes, I want it done right.
You know, they could actually build up to it and actually do a Phoenix movie, not Dark Phoenix. Do a Phoenix movie and build up to it. Do
you like what Taz did? Because you had that whole 3rd season, you had a 5-episode Phoenix arc. The whole 3rd season went along, and then you had a 5-episode Dark Phoenix arc. They stretched out the story and gave it the time.
No, I'm surprised nobody picked Harley Quinn, to be honest, or Catwoman, or Poison Ivy.
Honestly,
Emma Frost being a villain is debatable. I would say she's on her own side, but she's mostly a good guy, I'd say.
I honestly thought you were going to pick Hela as one of yours.
I almost did, and I almost picked Angela too, from Spawn / Marvel.
Okay, yeah.
She was one of my alternates as well. But they were my alternate list. To be fair, in terms of women from Marvel, most of the good ones are in the X-Men. To be fair,
yeah.
Like
which
Marvel.
I mean, that was part of the issue the MCU had with having women characters as stars. The biggest one they had was Black Widow. It's like, okay.
And honestly, and like they did make certain female characters a lot more beloved than they are in Marvel Comics. Like, you're reading Marvel Comics, there aren't that many big fans of comic Yelena Belova, but people love Florence Pugh as that character.
And they like Gamora. Yeah. They love Gamora. Yeah. They love Nebula. They love Black Widow, like even the Scarlett Johansson.
I mean,
Black
honestly,
Widow.
if we were doing casting, Florence Pugh was probably going to be one of mine.
I've actually argued that I think the Yelena of the MCU is a better character than the Natasha of the MCU. And I don't dislike Natasha, but she's she's lovable.
Yeah. We got a $5 super chat from Stagavore, and then we're going to bring Lone Wolf up to give his list, and then we're going to wind down for the night. My list is Lois Lane, all right, Selena Kyle, Catwoman, good choice. Gwen Stacy, also really good. Wonder Woman, and Emma Frost. So sort of in my head a little bit with that one.
I was thinking about Lois Lane.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of contenders in my head because there's some great ones too.
Lone Wolf, we're going to bring you up here quickly. I know you're probably on daddy duty, so we're going to bring you up and let you give your list before we wind down. So let's welcome up Lone Wolf to the chat. Good to have you here, Lone Wolf. Thank you for jumping in.
Comments anymore.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Yeah, we can hear you. You got your top 5 for us?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's hear it. Come on.
Okay, so Eric, you took my note. You took one of mine. Jean Grey was on my list.
Okay.
I don't remember if anybody took my next one, but my next one is Black Cat.
No.
I was thinking about it, but I left it off.
But Black Cat might also be in the other list. I will say Rogue was on my list, but y'all said it so much that I'm like, I'll save it for the other list.
All right.
Number 3 for me, though, would have to be Nico.
Oh, sure.
From the Runaways. Yeah.
Yeah, I love her magic, and the art style for her is really cool.
What do you think
I love
about
how
her
she-
in the Spider-Man cartoon, the new Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? Do you like her? Do you not like her?
I like her. I'm curious to see where it goes.
I was about to say I like her, but they haven't really done
Oh my
a lot
God.
with her yet.
I can't believe Edmund just brought up one that I completely forgot about. How did I forget Satana?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Oh
honestly.
my God.
Electra's
Oh,
also really
God,
good too.
I was so close with Satana. I was so close.
All right,
Funny
Lone
you
Wolf.
say that because Zatanna is on my list.
Oh, okay,
There
good for it.
There we go. All right.
I knew Lone Wolf would have it on his list, so I was like, we're good.
And then my last one has to be Raven.
Oh, good
nice
choice.
one.
Yeah,
I
good
picked
call.
Starfire. You picked Raven, so that's good. So,
So the only Titan that didn't get mentioned was
Wonder
Dove,
Girl?
I guess, or
Wonder-
Wonder Girl. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have other mentions, but I don't want to drag the show on too long.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, appreciate you jumping in though.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I mean,
you said Wonder Girl.
Yeah,
Do you
Wonder
mind
Girl
if I
wasn't mentioned.
stick around for a minute?
No, you can stick around for a minute because we're going to be winding down, so it's absolutely fine.
Yeah, because I was going to talk to you off stream, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So let's see. Do we get another super chat? Make sure we got all super chats. We did. We got everything. All right. So I was gonna say that Wonder Girl, loved her, like casting, costume, everything was perfect in Titans until she got electrocuted, and I'm like, how the fuck does that happen to Wonder Girl? How does she get electrocuted?
Especially when you promote at the time of that episode Wonder Woman grabbing lightning in '84.
Yeah, that was like a really stupid thing they did. I hated that.
Also, Chris,
She was one of the best characters.
good pull down there, Chris, with Starlight. That's a really good pull.
Yes. Starlight, Yelena, Wonder Woman, Kitty Pryde, and Wanda. There was another list up here.
I'll be honest, I wasn't even thinking about boys, but
Kitty Pryde was also going to be in my list.
Yeah. So Fedman
I really
mentioned
like her.
here Saya Kuroki. I don't know how to pronounce that, from Deadly Class. Not familiar with that character, honestly.
I'll be honest, when I first saw the name Starlight, I immediately thought of the DC character Starlight and not the boys character.
Yeah.
Another character that I really like that didn't make my list was Psylocke.
Oh yeah, well that's what Julie here says. You go, girl. Psylocke, Deborah Whitman, and Storm. Which Psylocke are we talking about? Are we talking about Psylocke like the Jim Lee era, or like Psylocke outside with Betsy Braddock as like herself? Which one are we talking about? Because I consider it to be two different things. I know in modern times it's kind of all merged together, but there was an era where it was two different characters.
I have to look at them to remember which one is which.
Jim Lee is the one with the tight spandex ripped up and the swords and stuff like that. That's the Jim Lee version. The other Psylocke from like the Outback era of X-Men was the one with the butterflies and the armor with the hood on it.
I would go with that one.
She had like that Jade Dragon look.
Yeah.
By the way, you mentioned You Go
'Cause
Girl.
that's the one they,
love Ecstatics.
I think that's the version they're using in Rivals, the more recent Psylocke.
Yeah.
And both of those looks.
Joe, you
What's
said
that?
about You Go Girl?
Yeah, no, I love Ecstatics. Ecstatics is such a good. In fact, a friend of mine got very offended when I said this. He's like, "What? Not Jim Lee?" My favorite comic book artist is Mike Allred. I think Mike Allred's just phenomenal. So.
Okay, I'm gonna give one massive spoiler for whenever we do the other list, because I told Eric I'd like to join that one. Rogue is gonna definitely be my number one in the gooning list.
Fair. But Chris, that Starlight character that you didn't know about, if you saw Superman and Lois, that's who Nat's character basically was their adaptation of Starlight. So just a little bit of info there for you.
Yeah. All right. So with that being said, I think we're going to wrap things up. I want to thank everybody for being here on the stream tonight. Shout out to everybody who couldn't make it. Appreciate them chiming in and letting me know they couldn't be here. I can't wait to talk to Ronan to hear about Frankenstein, because I know that's what he went to see, and I want to know what he thinks about it, because I'm going to be watching that as soon as it comes out on our biggest TV. Thank you, Bob, for coming in early and being here with me, and Jake for hanging out, and Joe for rushing home after watching his movie to jump on. We do appreciate it. And Lone Wolf for coming in as well. Make sure you go and check out these guys' channels. Subscribe to them if you like their content. Make sure you subscribe only if you're going to watch the content, because you hurt the channels. As much as I love to give people shout outs, it hurts people's channels if you subscribe and you're not going to click on their videos. It does. So just make sure you're going to watch their content at least once in a while. Please do. And that's pretty much it. We're out of here. We'll see everyone later. Hey there, if you're seeing this, that means we have reached the end of the stream. Thanks so much for your continued support with comments, likes, subscriptions, super stickers, and super chats. I just want to give a special shout out to all of the channel members who have contributed to the success of this channel with paid tiers. On the screen, you will see your name displayed as a signal of appreciation from myself and the channel. If you would like to see your name on this list, consider selecting a tier with the join or plus button depending on your platform. Thanks again, everyone. Let's hang out soon in the next stream, and I'll see you then.